This is going to be keeper on the road videos. I'm going to touch on a couple of subjects and hopefully you'll find them interesting and amusing. Now on to the topic. One question I get asked from time to time is, how do I start a field? Now that's a very ambiguous question, and you have to designate what they're starting a field, because most of these people are not, when they ask that question, they're not starting a field that like, oh, I'm going to charge money and bring in people and stuff like that. That's a big undertaking. You know, you have to have insurance, major insurance, bathroom facilities, parking, all this other stuff. So that's not a commercial field. They're not, most of the people are not asking me about a commercial field. They're asking about a location where they can play with their friends. And sometimes you don't realize that, you know, this might be a group of underage people asking about, where can I play? Oh, there's an open field next to my house. You got to watch that. You got to make sure that the people are aware of certain things before they start a field. One of the things I like to start to tell someone is, okay, they have lots of land, or they have access to land. I like to know, you know, you want to start off with, do you own the land? Does somebody on your team own your land? Or if someone else owns the land, do you have permission to be on that land playing airsoft? Does the owner know you're going to play airsoft there? Is he going to be aware that you're running around with replica guns? Those are questions to be asked. Also, you know, if it's just a field that you and your buddies are playing on, all right, and you're not charging money for, you're good. But if you're trying to create a field that you can have events and charge money to, that's considered a business then, and that's a whole other ball of wax. Now, people are going to say to me, oh, Don, you're telling people to start fields on their land, they don't have insurance, people come up, get hurt, things like that. I'm not telling anybody to start anything. All right, if you have a team member that has land and he wants to allow people to come on there, and he wants to invite a shitload of people out there to play, that's going to be on him. I'll use myself as an example. I have 6.4 acres put on the side for a private training field for our squad. It is an invite-only private field, not open to the public. I don't charge money for it. Okay, I do have a waiver that people sign, and you have to be 18 plus to be on the field. That protects me somewhat, very limited. Now, other people will say, oh, you should have insurance on the field for that. If I was inviting people out there all the time, but it is our team that has this field, and it's only dedicated once a month to playing airsoft. All the neighbors are aware that we play airsoft. I have the field surrounded by privacy fence, so that if someone happens to be walking through the woods, they won't get shot by a BB. Plus, I have signage that I put up every time that we're having a game, so the guy walking his dog from up the road or the guy on the quad doesn't come through and get shot by a BB. When they see the signs up, they know what's going on. That's just my example. So let's say you have a field and you want to have it down there, and the landowner or the member of your team has no problem letting the people on there and play. That's on him. I would suggest having a couple things. Have a set rule set. A field FPS limit. A field rate of fire limit. A waiver that could somewhat cover you. And field rules that you follow religiously. Not that like, okay, don't be a dick, that's it. A little bit more complicated than that. If you set your field to have an FPS limit, let's say you want to be conservative and you say, oh, I don't want guns shooting over 400 with 2 O's. Fine. Or you say, I don't want over a 20 rounds per second rate of fire. If you shoot over 20 rounds per second, you can only shoot semi. full seal goggles required. No mesh mask. Lower face protection is required of some kind. I also include the balaclavas with the little mesh thing that goes over your teeth. That's actually pretty good too. If you have something like that, I think that would be awesome for you to start out with a new field. Starting out a field commercially though, I am not the one to ask for that. I've had people ask me and I said, you know, you're better off to like find a field that's local in the area and ask them, how did you start? You know, and it's one of those things that, oh yeah, we had like 17 acres and we bought insurance for 100 people to come out on the field and it's X amount of this year, X amount of money per year. They have bathrooms for the people, plenty of parking. You know, they've done their homework, they charge, they make money. That's the person to talk to about that. Now, granted, if I wanted to start my own field that I can charge and do stuff, I did look into various aspects, and you have to have so many bathrooms per person. If you have X amount of people, you have to have one bathroom per X amount of people. You have to have parking. And as a business, you would have to have handicap spots for people to park. You would have to have, and the parking has to be so far from this, and the staging area has to be so far from that. You can't have any ladders. You can't have any ladders. You can't have any buildings over 8 feet, or the insurance takes on a whole new ball of wax. I got an estimate one time of $1,200 just for my field for the limited amount of people that I wanted to have on there. And it was $1,200 a year. And that was with no ladders, no buildings over 8 feet, no roofs, no windows to bust out, regular, you know, no glass and windows and stuff, and no power hooked to it. So, you know, there's a lot of do's and don'ts that you're going to have with a commercial field. So I'm, like I said, I'm not the person to ask about that, but, you know, there are people that can help you with that. I sort of got off on a tangent there, but having your own field could be fun. Just be prepared for all the nonsense and other stuff that you have. Having a set bunch of field rules is actually important because, for example, just want to throw this out there. Guy comes, they put CO2 cartridges, just throw them out on the ground. That's littering. That's not, just because it's not your house, your field, you know, you're going to throw stuff out on the ground. That's like a Thunder Bee goes off, all right, and it's sitting there on the ground. And you got a piece of plastic, you know, shell. The guy takes the shell off, throws it on the ground. Come on, you know, pick that stuff up. If you have a rule set that says you got to do that kind of stuff, that'll help out a lot too. So I hope that answered the question a little bit, and I sort of rambled a lot on that one, but I hope you found it amusing. And if you have any other questions, just drop a comment on this video. Keep her on the road. Doing it